Hello, welcome to KAJOS Consultants. My name is Joshua, and today we'll be taking you through how you can calculate household hunger scale in Excel. Household hunger scale is also known as household food deprivation, and it is a proxy of food access. This type of indicator is built around three questions about perceptions of household on varying degrees of hunger by the number of times household has experienced hunger within the past 30 days, that is before the survey is done. Here, three questions are asked. The first question is in the past 4 weeks or 30 days, did you or any household member go to sleep at night hungry because there was not enough food? So that is the first question. The second question will be whether in the past 4 weeks, was there ever no food of any kind to eat in your house because of lack of resources? And then our last question will be in the past 4 weeks or 30 days, did you or any member go to a whole day and night without eating anything at all because there was not enough food? So these are some of the questions that will be interrogated when dealing with the household hunger scale as an indicator of food security. Here, also three scoring options are used, whereby those who never apply this scenario in within the past 30 days, it is never. If they never slept hungry, then it will be never. This will be marked as no, and the score there we normally allocate is 0. If they were affected in one way or another, either between 1 to 10 times, then it will be marked as rarely or sometimes. And therefore, for rarely, we normally have 1 to 2 times. Then for sometimes, we have 3 to 10 times. So that is how some of that is assigned. Then we have often that has more than 10 times. So those are some of the categories that are the scoring options that we use to score responses to each questions of this household hunger scale. So the household hunger scale also scores as about 3 categories. So these are some of the categories thereby anything that is scored between 0 to 10, we determine that as, or we consider that as none or light hunger. That the one that will have 2 to 3 scores, we consider it as moderate hunger. Then 4 to 6 scores, we have it as severe hunger. So these ones, this is how such indicator is categorized. So let's go to the nitty-gritties of this and see how we can assign these values. So we have rarely 1 to 2 times. So we will check for never. Never is this is the category that has got no value at all, and therefore will be can see the blank spaces here. This was marked as meaning the person was not affected in one way or other by each of the questions that we are trying to that are unassigned. So all the blank categories will assign it as 0. So to autofill blank spaces with 0, simply come to find and select here, then click on replace. Simply click on find, then go to special, then we'll check on blanks, then click OK. Then find all the blank spaces will be selected here. So once all the places are selected, simply type 0 in any of the space that will be displayed there. Then press on Control key or hold the Control key, then press on Enter key, and these values will be automatically selected. So once they are selected, then we can easily have that as never. Then now come and values section that were recorded as rarely or rarely and sometimes. Then let's start with rarely. So we'll come to again find. Then this is a text one, how to replace it or convert the text data into numerical data. So we simply go to find, then click on replace. Then we have here find what you have is rarely. Want to convert rarely to read 1. So we're going to replace all section or categories with rarely to read one. The next step we are going to look for will be sometimes. This one should also read one as I indicated earlier. This one will also read one, so replace all. Yeah, then we look for the one that has got often, or that is more than 30 times, more than 10 times. This will be replaced to read two. So this will read to replace all, then that will read to. So you find all our data has been cleaned up and we are now good to go. Also, it is worth to note that it is worth noting that this household under scale can only read between 0 to 6, meaning each set of 0, each question can only read up to a maximum of 2, and we only have 3 questions, so meaning 3 times 2 will give you 6. The next category you're going to look for at is you're going to get the household hunger scale scores. So we are going to get the scores for this one. So to get the scores for each of the respondent, then you simply get the sum, the sum of these. So this will be equal. Then sum, double click on the sum so that the formula can be automatically generated there. Then we add across these rows. Click on enter. You'll find that the sum for the first category has been generated. Once the sum for the first category has been generated, simply double click, place your cursor at the bottom of that box, then simply double click and all the values will be automatically generated. So once we has obtained this, then we'll go to what is called the household hunger scale categories. So here we are going to assign them whether it is a light hunger. Remember, I earlier indicated that 0 to 1 score will be having none or light hunger. Anything between 2 to 3 will be moderate hunger. Then 4 to 6 will be severe hunger. So how do we assign these values now? We'll then come and write all the categories that we have, and on the values section or on the scores section, we're going to have all the lower class limit. For instance, we have none or light hunger 0 to 1, so the lower class limit here will be 0. Moderate hunger, we have 2 to 3. Yeah, we have 2 to 3, so that will be having. So this one will be having will be having rare or sometimes, because it simply is from 1 to 10. It means the person might have consumed that, might have been affected by that category, the ones are between 1 to 10 times. Then we'll be having severe hunger. Those will be score that is reading between 4 to 6. So this one will have as rarely or sometimes we have it as 1. Then they are often or more than 10 times will be having them as 2. So this one will not as this one will be 4, and this one will be the lower class limit there is 2. Sorry. So we are going to have assigning the wrong category. We are going to have these values here. Now we have none, light hunger. So this one will be 0 to 1. So our lower class limit here will be 0. That is 0 to 1 score. Then moderate hunger will be anything between reading from 2 to 3. Then severe hunger will be having 4. So these are now the lower class limits of those assigned categories. So we have a none or light hunger. We have 0 as the lower class limit. Moderate hunger, we have 2 as the lower class. Then severe hunger, we have 4 as the lower class limit. So we will now come and use the VLOOKUP function to assign these categories. So to use the VLOOKUP function here in assigning household hunger scale categories, simply have is equal sign. Then we type VLOOKUP, double click on the VLOOKUP, then click on the first value under the household hunger scale score, then have a comma. Come to where we have the scores that have been assigned, then select the entire scores that we have here. Once that is selected, press the F4, that is the function keys on your keyboard. There's a key there labeled as F4. Then click on comma. Then we are going to return one of these values on the first column. Here we have the 0, 2, 4. These are our first column values. So we want them to this second column values where we have the non-light, so light hunger, moderate hunger, and severe hunger. These are our second. So we have the second column, and we have them to read the values on our first column. So we have another comma. Then we type 1, meaning that the values on the second column will be returned upon reading the values on the first column on our household hunger scaled scores. So once that is done, simply click on enter. Then we'll find the first value will be generated here. Once our first value has been generated, simply click on have your cursor on the bottom of the first box where the first category has been generated, then double click. Once you double click on that, you'll find all the values will be generated. So this is how we get the household hunger scale for the data that we have. So if you want to know how many or what percentage were moderate, how many percentage were none, and how many percentage were severe, so you can simply come and select the entire data that we have here. So simply select on that. Once all this is selected, then we're going to insert a table to enable us get the values that we want for this particular data. So we're going to insert. Once you have selected insert, then click on the table. Then all our data shall have been generated. So if you want to know how many of these, we can as well come here and have this none or light. You can have that one, and then you can have moderate. We simply type it there. Then we can have severe. So anything on severe, yeah, we have it here. Or you can simply just type them. The reasons are committed so that we don't miss out on find some are capital or small. So these are some of the value that we want to look for. So we can simply have an equal sign here. Then we count. So we want the value that is moderate, severe, or none to be counted. So it is count if. Then we click on the categories of household hunger scale. Then we have a comma. Once you have placed that comma, click on the first column or the first category of that data, then click on enter. So once we have pressed on enter, then we can then double click on this to give us the value. So it's simply is equal sign count if. So we want to count if. So count if it is none, moderate, or severe, comma. Our first category Here, we select all those, then we press on enter. So, this is just repeat the formula, count if. That is selected. Then we have a comma. Then click on the first one. That will be generated. Formula should, we just have a table there as well, so that we have some sort of uniformity in that. Yeah. So one that is now we have a 53, no light hunger, then you have moderate hunger as 239, severe as 121. So this one, our total here should be 413, because that is the total number of the respondents that were participated in this study. So sum is equal to, simply add all those, then we get is 413. In terms of percentages, you can have is equal sign, click on the first one, then divide by 413. Yeah, to get the percentage. So all these, you can also auto select all those and convert to percent. You can have that and convert this one into percentage. That is the data that we will get at that point. So we have 13% light, moderate is 58, then 29% is severe. Yeah, so we have 13, we have 58, then we have 29 as our severe hunger for that case. So this data can also be, you can as well copy that data and transfer it into SPSS, whereby we have the categories. Yeah, so this is how we can obtain this data for that particular analysis that we want to do in Excel, so that we get the most effective or efficient data that we need for this particular category or set of activity that we intend to undertake. So then you have to change it to string for it to read under SPSS. So once we paste this, we can find everything here in place as indicated. So this will be our data, and the same data can as well be transferred, or we can as well move the same data to SPSS as I have done here, so that we also try to just do some cross tabulation and see how are different sets of location, how do they compare. So we can even analyze, come here to descriptive statistics, then we do cross tabulation across the locations vis-a-vis the household categories. So on the sales section, we can have that total, then we continue and see how our data compare here across the locations. So you find in location A, we have severe was 2%, more none or light was 3, close to 3. Then we had 9, close to 10%, moderate hunger scale. If you look at location D, we had around 19 moderate, so on and so forth. So this marks the end of our tutorial. Kindly subscribe to this channel so that you can be getting more of these updates in case regarding data analytics from time to time.